Are you guys also confused about which Pokemon to pick or to buy in Season 31? Because with every new season, the developer of Pokemon Unite always makes some changes and adjustments with the Pokemons. That's why in this video, I'm gonna show you top 10 best Pokemon for solo ranking in Season 31. Along with that, I will also show you their best build, battle item, and boost emblem set with some tips and tricks. So in the number 10, we have the Kampu Boy Urshifu. In the very previous past update of patch note version 19.210, Urshifu got pretty decent buff on the moveset like Surging Strike, Liquidation, Wicked Blow, and Throat Chop. Even though Urshifu was already in the meta, with this buff he has become much more stronger and better. That's why you will see lots of players using Urshifu in this season. And if you also wanna use Urshifu, then you should know these few things about him. Urshifu is very strong in the early game, especially with the moveset like Surging Strike and Liquidation. So whenever you use Urshifu, I would highly recommend you to go on the central area so that you can reach level 5 as soon as possible. And once you reach level 5, make sure to play very aggressively to take down the enemies, because in the early game, his damage and durability is very high as compared to other Pokemon. So basically, early game is the best time for you to dominate wherever lane you go. About the best moveset for Urshifu, well, I personally prepare Surging Strike and Liquidation, and this is the build and the boost emblem that I use on Urshifu. You can take a screenshot if you want. Now it's time to move on to the next one. In the number 9, we have the clown guy Mimikyu. Most of the all-rounder fights face to face and has lots of stun, but Mimikyu is kinda different from them. That's why he has managed to come at this position. You see, Mimikyu is totally like an assassin type Pokemon, especially with the moveset like Flare Up and Shadow Sneak. With these two movesets, Mimikyu can target any specific enemy and eliminate them. He can literally one-shot any squishy Pokemon with Flare Up. Along with that, as an all-rounder, Mimikyu has pretty good durability, which helps him to sustain for quite a long time in team fights. And not to forget, the cooldown of Flare Up is pretty short. Along with that, the cooldown of Shadow Sneaks gets reset each time you kill the enemy which has Shadow Sneak mark. That's why you can easily spam his moveset during the team fight. And it isn't really that hard to master Mimikyu, so you should definitely try Mimikyu in solo ranking. About the best moveset for Mimikyu, definitely it's Flare Up and Shadow Sneak. And this is the build and the boost emblem set that I use on Mimikyu. Now it's time to move on to the next one. In the number 8, we have the Walking Dragon Zacian. It's designed as a versatile fighter that excels in close quarter combat, combining high burst damage, mobility, and self-sustain to dominate skirmishes and team fights. Even after the release of lots of new Pokemon like Mega Lucario and Impeleon, Zacian remains a strong pick, giving the new Pokemon tough competition in current meta, which speaks for itself how versatile Zacian is in every update. Zacian's core strength comes from its passive ability called Intrepid Sword. To activate this passive, all you have to do is hold down the goal scoring button. When you do this, Zacian charges its sword with AOS energy, and for a short time, its basic attack become boosted attacks. In addition, during this time, Zacian can use a boosted version of one of its moves. The longer the goal scoring button is held down, the more AOS ball is charged into the sword, lengthening the duration of the boost effect on basic attacks and moves. So basically, the more AOS ball you have, the stronger Zacian will become in fights. This makes Zacian exceptionally deadly into mid to late game, because during this time, usually you will get plentiful of AOS ball. But there is one problem. While playing Zacian, it is really hard to score, because typically you will get confused whether to score goals or save AOS ball for fights. Other than that, Zacian is super fun and strong. Anyways, this is the build and the boost emblem set you can use on Zacian. Now let's move on to the next one. In the number 7, we have the Dark Pokemon Darkrai. In the recent patch note version 20.310, Darkrai got a pretty huge buff on the cooldown reduction and Dark Pulse. Even though Darkrai was already in the meta, with this new update, he has become even much more stronger and deadlier than before. Darkrai is truly a nightmare, especially in the early game with the moveset like Nasty Plot and Dark Void. He has the ability to dominate the early game very effectively, because even in just level 5, his damage is very high, and when he reaches level 7, he unlocks his power spike. This is the point where his damage can even penetrate through the defense of any defender and supporter. Not only that, the cooldown of Darkrai's moveset is very short. Because of that, you can continuously spam his moves. And if you are wondering whether it is hard to master Darkrai or not, well, Darkrai is very easy to play Pokemon. All you have to do is just spam the button while playing him. So even if you are a new player in Pokemon Pokemon Unite, you can easily master him in no time. So that's why you should also try to use Darkrai to push your rank, especially in solo ranking. About the best moveset for Darkrai, I personally prepare Nasty Plot and Dark Void, and this is the build and the boost emblem set. You can take screenshot if you want. Now let's move on to the next one. In the number 6 we have the ghost Pokemon Gengar. He is also known as the one-shot killing machine of Pokemon Unite. Gengar is one of those Pokemon which can kill the enemies in just few milliseconds, especially with the moveset like Dream Eater and Shadow Ball. His damage is on the extreme level. He has the potential to obliterate the entire enemy. Gengar can be truly a killing machine if you utilize his moveset properly. The damage of the Gengar is so deadly that it can even shred apart the defense of defender and supporter. Not only that, by using the Unite move, Gengar becomes invisible and can easily reach out to the damage dealer of the opposing team to assassinate them one by one from the back. This thing is really helpful, especially in the final stretch, because he can easily take down the Pokemon which is creating problem for your teammates. Now the question is whether it is hard to master Gengar or not. Well, the difficulty level of the Gengar is on the medium level. To master Gengar isn't really that hard. You just need a good amount of matches with him and then you are good to go. About the laning pace for the Gengar, I would highly recommend you to go on the central area, because as a speedster, Gengar definitely need farm, and before reaching level 5 he is super duper weak, so always make sure to focus on leveling up first. Anyways, this is the build and the boost emblem set that I use on Gengar. Now let's move on to the next one. In the number 5 we have the Mega Lucario. As we all know that Mega Lucario is the evolved form of Lucario, so that's why in the early game Mega Lucario will be just like the standard Lucario we know, but once you use the Unite move, he will turn into Mega Lucario, and this is where things get exciting. So when Mega Lucario uses his Unite move called Aura Cannon, it fires a piercing beam for massive damage and self-heal based on hits which trigger Mega Evolution for 20 to 30 seconds and increases plus 50% attack and plus 30% speed, which helps him to deal devastating damage to the enemies in area. Along with that, you can make 0-second cooldown to power up punch. To do that, all you have to do is first use the power up punch and then the close combat. If your close combat properly hits the enemy, the cooldown of power punch will be reset. With this very easy combo, you can demolish the entire enemy in team fight, because this combo deals damage in area, hitting the multiple targets, which makes Mega Lucario one of the most scary all-rounder in this meta. That is why most of the time you will see Mega Lucario getting banned on the draft pick mode, which is totally reasonable, and I don't know why I feel like the developer of Pokemon Unite soon gonna nerf him. So my dear viewers, it is the right time for you to rank up faster with Mega Lucario before it gets nerfed. And about the laning pace, you can either go on the central area or in the top lane, but top lane is I guess much more suitable for him. Anyways, this is the build and the boost emblem set you can use on Mega Lucario. Now let's move on to the next one. In the number 4 we have the chicken boy Blaziken. Blaziken is a Pokemon which I also loves to play. He is one of those Pokemon which has high damage dealing capabilities, durabilities and pretty good mobilities. In a team fight, Blaziken becomes one of the most brutal damage dealer, because most of the moveset of Blaziken deals damage in area, which helps him to kill multiple targets simultaneously. That is why the reason he is also being picked in the professional tournaments. Now if you are thinking of playing Blaziken, then I would like to warn you, because if you are a new player in Pokemon Unite, then it will be slightly difficult for you to play Blaziken, as Blaziken is not a beginner friendly Pokemon. You need a good practice in order to utilize all his moveset properly. So before you play Blaziken, make sure to master his combo. About the laning pace, you can either go on the top lane or the central area, and this is the build and the boost emblem set that I use on Blaziken. Now let's move on to the next one. In the number 3 we have the Green Kitty Leafeon. Leafeon is considered as one of the most strongest speedster, especially in the early game, because he unlocked one of his main moveset in just level 4, and the power spike of Leafeon get activated in level 6. That is why the reason he can dominate the early game very effectively. As a speedster by nature, Leafeon has a very high burst damage dealing capabilities. Along with that, the movement speed of Leafeon is super duper high, which helps him to easily reach out to the backline of the opposing team and take them down. Then he can easily escape as well, and he can easily kill those Pokemon which has low mobility and no blink abilities. Not only that, because of the unique ability of Leafeon, he can secure or steal objective very efficiently. And about the difficulty level level of Leafeon? Well, it's on medium level. You just need few matches with him and then definitely you will learn how does his moveset works. For the best moveset for the Leafeon, right now it's Razor Leaf and Aerial Ace, and this is the build and the boost emblem set that I use on Leafeon. Now let's move on to the next one. In the number 2 we have none other than the Zoroark, which is considered as the king of speedster. He is the speed, the lightning of Pokemon Unite. I don't think I have to tell you anything about Zoroark because most of the players know how strong and deadly he is. With Zoroark there are some players who even do 1 versus 5 clutch. That's right, Zoroark has the potential to carry the entire game all by himself. Because of his speeds and dash abilities, he can definitely reach out to the backline of the opposing team and easily can escape as well. And most of the time in solo ranking, players doesn't pick specific counter for Zoroark. That's where he gets the plus point. This is why if you master Zoroark, there's a very high chance you can rank up faster in solo ranking. Because with the Unite move, he can also easily secure the objectives. But remember this, Zoroark is one of the most hardest Pokemon to master. That's why most of the player doesn't use him. Anyways, about the best moveset for Zoroark, I personally prepare Feint Attack and Shadow Claw, and this is the build and the boost emblem set that I use on Zoroark. In the number 1, we have the new beast, the monster, the Mega Charizard. I don't think I have to explain you why Mega Charizard is in the top 1 of this list, because most of the Pokemon Unite communities knows that how broken Mega Charizard is since the day he has been released in Unite. But in the early game, Mega Charizard is totally like the normal Charizard. Even the damage dealing capabilities is almost same until you unlock your Unite move. And once you use the Unite move, that's where things get excited. Mega Charizard turns into Blue Dragon form, where his damage and durability is super enhanced. In this form, he can destroy the entire team of the enemies, and because of his enhanced defense, it's become very difficult to kill Mega Charizard. That's why right now Mega Charizard always get banned in the draft pick mode, and there's no wonder why. He is totally a broken Pokemon in this meta, and I feel like sooner or later he's gonna get a nerf. So that's why use Mega Charizard to rank up faster before they nerf him. Even if you are a new player, you can easily play Mega Charizard and dominate the battlefield. Anyways, this is the build and the boost emblem set for Mega Charizard. So that was it guys, and if this video was helpful for you, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. See you guys in the next video.